It's the book club, and this time a slice of true crime. Sort of. This is Penance. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Dave Musson, and this is the place where quite often I talk to you about either Stephen King or horror films, but in this special series I'm recommending great books to you. Yes, this is my book club where each week I tell you about a book that I've read recently that I think you will enjoy too. And in each episode I'll give you a synopsis of the book, a bit about the author, I'll give you a spoiler-free review, and I'll try and align it to a Stephen King book to give you that point of reference and to keep it on brand for my channel. And just help you decide if this sounds like a book you might go and check out. And if you do check it out and you enjoy it, make sure you review it and rate it on the Storygraph, Goodreads, Amazon, all of those places. And if you really enjoy it, rave about it on your social media channels, tell your friends, get in the group chat, buy them copies of the book, message them your favourite lines from it. Just keep talking about it until they're just like, okay, fine, I will read it, leave me alone. All of that kind of stuff. You know how it works. Cool. So this time I'm continuing my summer break from brand new books, I guess, because there's not been loads of new stuff recently that I've read that I wanted to talk to you about here, and September and October are big times. So I'm dipping back into my own backlist of books, mainly going into my pile of books that I got for my birthday in December. You can check my book haul video from that if you want to. And just catching up on some books that have been sitting on my shelf waiting to be read. Did it last time out with Bunny, and this time I'm doing it with Penance by Eliza Clark, which is, I guess, a chance for us to take a little trip to the North Yorkshire seaside and go and explore a quite horrible, hideous murder that happened there. So that's fun, isn't it? Let's get into that, I guess. Is there anything else I need to do here? No? You can check out the rest of the playlist of the book club. There's more than 50 books for you to explore there. But yeah, let's do it. This is Eliza Clark and Penance. Okay, here's the synopsis of Penance. Do you know what happened already? Did you know her? Did you see it on the internet? Did you listen to a podcast? Did the hosts make jokes? Did you see the pictures of the body? Did you look for them? It's been nearly a decade since the horrifying murder of 16-year-old Joan Wilson rocked Crow-on-Sea, and the events of that terrible night are now being published for the first time. That story is Penance, a dizzying feat of masterful storytelling where Eliza Clark manoeuvres us through accounts from the inhabitants of this small seaside town. Placing us in the capable hands of journalist Alec Z. Carelli, Clark allows him to construct what he claims is the definitive account of the murder and what led up to it. Built on hours of interviews with witnesses and family members, painstaking historical research, and most notably, correspondence with the killers themselves, the result is a riveting snapshot of lives rocked by tragedy and a town left in turmoil. The only question is, how much of it is true? And a bit about the author for you. So Eliza Clark has relocated from her native Newcastle back to London, where she previously attended Chelsea College of Art. She works in social media marketing, recently having worked for women's creative writing magazine Muslexia. In 2018, she received a grant from New Writing North's Young Writers Talent Fund. Clark's short horror fiction has been published with Tales to Terrify, with an upcoming novelette from Gehenna and Hinnom expected this year. I don't know when this bio was written, so don't know what year that is. She hosts podcasts. She hosts the podcast You Just Don't Get It, Do You, with her partner, where they discuss film and television which squanders its potential. Boy Parts is her first novel. You can find her at Fancy Eliza on both Twitter and Instagram. So there's your background. Let's get into my spoiler-free review of Penance. Right, let's get out at the start. This is a work of fiction, and the book is, not my review. My review is real. The book is fiction. And that book, I absolutely flew through it. It is twisty, it is gripping, it is compelling. And while I can see it does have some flaws, I would still recommend it to lots of people, including you guys. Right, let's get the gripes out of the way first. I wanted a deeper exploration of the Brexit setting on the town. So this murder that happens on the night of the Brexit vote in 2016 in the UK. And from the synopsis, you're given the impression that that looming threat of Brexit and the fact that one of the killer's dad is a right-wing politician who is pushing for Brexit, you get the sense that's going to play quite an important part. And I was fascinated to see that idea of Brexit told through this once glorious, now much faded seaside town, and we didn't really get it, which was a bit of a frustration. It just kind of felt like any other bit of background dressing. I also felt that the interview with the author of this book, the journalist that we get with a mainstream newspaper at the end of it, was just a little bit flat and would have just been enhanced by the fact that in the interview they reference a mainstream media expose on this book that we are supposedly reading, on Penance, the fictional book. And I just would have liked to have seen that expose to see why it constituted needing an interview with the author and why the book got pulled from the shelves. Because that's the premise here, that this book was written, it was published, and then it was pulled pretty much immediately. And again, it's just kind of hinted at, and I just wanted that a little bit more. But putting those aside, I had a blast with this book. And lots of it got under my skin. Probably the most scary thing was actually the exploration of mid-2010s online behaviour, Tumblr and all of that stuff, particularly among teenage girls who can be, let's not forget, incredibly terrifying. It all felt not even well researched, it felt lived in, it felt like it was coming from experience, and it was unhinged and just bonkers and was a brilliant driving force throughout the story. The groups of characters and their relationships with each other felt real, felt lived in, felt well drawn out. And I also enjoyed that we got to spend lots of time throughout the book focusing on just one character to really understand them, their background and their motivations. That also helped paint pictures of all the different sides of this story and kind of challenge your thinking about how you would approach summarising each character based on what you learn at the start of the story as you learn more about them as we go through it. The descriptions of Joni's murder were graphic and visceral and really gave the book a flying start. I thought the incident at the swimming pool was chilling, and the snarky commentary at the true crime industry that is peppered throughout this was excellent. From the horrible podcasters that we get quotes from, all the way through to the just completely cynical and blasé attitude of the so-called author of this book. It all just worked very well. Actually, on that true crime thing, that has reminded me of another slight gripe. So I get this is probably by design, of being a commentary on true crime stuff, but I felt this was not sympathetic to the murder victim at the heart of this story at all. We spend so much time on the killers, we get very little about Joni, and what is portrayed about Joni is kind of confusing and, like I said, unsympathetic. And I get it, probably by design. The focus of this true crime stuff is the gruesome stuff and it is the twisted portraits of the killers. But, I don't know, just felt like I needed a little bit more of Joni to make her murder feel even more impactful. So when it comes to Stephen King, a few flavours of King come to mind when reading this. Most notably his hard case crime books, and I guess his Holly Gibney books, although Penance is better than all of those books. So overall, I haven't burned through a book like this in months, and I knew from very early on that despite the horrible story to tell, I was going to have a great time in Crow-on-Sea. I really liked the town's history that we get woven throughout. I have seen that criticised in some reviews as getting in the way of the story, but I think it really helped. And like I said at the start, it was a compelling read. In many ways, I found it difficult to put down, and for all the right reasons. And for a summer thriller read, perfect. So this is Penance. It's been out for a couple of years. Get on it. It's a good ride. Okay, there we go. Penance by Eliza Clark on the book club. Done. Have you read this one? Let me know what you thought of it. It seems to divide opinion online, but I had a really good time with it. And if you're looking for a breezy read, I would definitely recommend it. Some people seem to think it's too long, but honestly, I flew through it like nobody's business. So let me know what you thought of this. And don't forget you can check out the full playlist of the book club to find other book recommendations from me. And hey, if you're still here, let's do some plugs. I'm going to plug a few things that are all linked down below, namely my award-winning collection of short stories, Once More Around the Sun from 2024, my Stephen King trivia book from 2022, and my Stephen King band shirts, like my Randall Flagg Nirvana mashup. You can find links to all of those below. And if you like what I'm doing on this channel, you can become a constant viewer. You can support me directly, get extra content, special emojis, all of that kind of stuff. And hey, if none of that sounds good, just thanks for watching. I appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't done so already, and tell a friend so we can keep growing this channel. And I will see you again soon, either for Stephen King chat, for horror movie chat, or back here next week for another recommendation on the book club. Happy reading!